Right, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda CR-V. It's a 2-litre EX automatic. As you can see here, finished in Milano red, full black leather interior, and it comes with this really lovely private plate which is part of the sale of the vehicle. Car's very nice. It's covered 75,000 miles. All the lights and lenses, you can see they're completely intact, but they really do very nice in red, these cars. It's quite a sought after colour on them. Again, generally a very clean car, only the odd minor mark which you can expect given the age mileage of the vehicle, but they are very few and far between. Front wing there, bumper corner very clean, front alloy, hardly a mark of any note in there at all. Panel work down this near side is very clean and free of any obvious indentations that I can see anyway. Rear near side alloy, again absolutely unmarked on there. I think come around the back of the car here, all very nice. So finally around to the off side of the vehicle. Again, panel work, can't see any indentations down this side at all. Rear off side alloy, again completely unmarked. And there will be the odd mark on the car which the camera and I can't see clearly as I'm walking around. We encourage people to look at the cars clearly in person. Fine alloy, very clean. So overall, certainly given the mileage of the vehicle, we're looking at a car that's very clean indeed. So coming into the boot area, very big boots on these. It's got its full complement. You've got your tonneau cover here, middle shelf which looks as though it's been kept stored away because it's absolutely immaculate, looks like new actually. And then the plastics and the carpeted area is very good, very clean and tidy. And underneath here you get a space saver wheel. The jack and tools are all there with the car. If you don't want to use these shelves, you can either put them in the garage, or Honda very cleverly shaped them so they're exactly the same shape as that underneath, so you can just put them down underneath. Because I never really see a great use of them personally, but I'm sure people do. It's coming into the back of the car now. Generally all in very good order. The leatherwork's really nice in the car. Full black leather interior, and it's been kept very nicely. There is actually a full set of Honda mats to go in the car as well. They're just being cleaned currently at this stage. But you've got huge amounts of legroom on them, and you've got a bar underneath. I don't know if you can actually see that if I can pull the camera around. Just under here, you've got this bar. Pull that up, and then you can slide the seats forward on rails and then extend the boot area by quite a large amount. Coming to the front of the car now, driver's door card generally very good indeed. Footwell area is all very clean. Driver's leather seat is again very nice and clean on there as well. There's hardly any marks on the bolsters at all. Likewise, leatherwork on the passenger seat there. Very clean and tidy, very original seats, kept really nicely. Obviously on the EX models you get this lovely big glass panoramic roof that adds a lot of natural light into the car as well. So sat inside the car now, engine's still running as it has been all the way through in the video. Just to show you, dashboard is in lovely condition, all the recesses really nice. Coming to the glove box here as well, and in there you got the owner's manual pack, and lock and wheel nut set is here and present with the car. But the dashboard is in wonderful condition, really is. Sat-nav system all working absolutely perfectly. If I pop the car into reverse, you see there, nice clear parking camera as well, all working exactly as it should. Dual zone climate control, obviously automatic gearbox lever, all just been kept very nicely. Heated seats, you can low, high, and then back to the middle if you don't want to use them. Again, all working exactly as they should. And then to come across to the steering wheel, the main binnacle of the vehicle, I'll just pan in there for you just to show you 75,220 miles. And apart from low fuel, there's no warning lights on this vehicle at all. Steering wheel looks and feels pretty much as new in your hand. Your audio top right, bottom on the left hand side, get that right in a minute. Cruise control functions on the right hand side, and then we've got auto lights and auto wipers. But said it's been kept very nicely, this car. So finally, just come under the engine bay here. Real rarity to find an engine bay which you can actually work on an engine, do basic maintenance without snagging your fingers. Loads of room in them, beautifully presented as you'd expect from Honda. Wonderful tough engines as well. What will follow this video will be a road test of this very car. Right then, this is a road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2-litre EX automatic. This particular car is registered on a private plate which comes with the car rather nicely, M500MRR, and mileage at the start of this brief road test is 75,221 miles. The reason we do the videos, as I say in all of them, we just want customers to see the cars in operation prior to people coming to see us. That way, if there are any issues with the vehicle, I can and I always do relay them back to you. We know, because we've been on the receiving end ourselves, how infuriating it can be to set off for what can be many hours to go and see something, and only to find out that it's got a fundamental fault which you clearly should have been told about prior to going to see it. So hence, that's why we do it. I always do. If there's something obvious with the car in terms of the drive of the vehicle or otherwise, I always relay it back to you, and as I've done on many of my previous videos. This isn't just a case of ticking boxes. Hopefully most of our cars don't sort of flag up anything, but there we go. So coming back to the car engine starts absolutely instantly, settles to very smooth, even idle. There's no warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car aside from just the low fuel light, but there's no warning lights on the vehicle at all. Engine's just been running now for some time, so it's up to maximum operating temperature, and they should run about a third on the temperature gauge, which is exactly where this one is currently. Engine's just been serviced by ourselves, so it doesn't require another service for another 12 months. Engine pulls very sweetly, sounds exactly as it should, regardless of mileage. I'm not giving it any kind of cutting it any slack to because it's done a few more miles. It's still well below average for its year, but the engine is sweet, tractable, pulls very, very nicely throughout its rev range, and when matched to this gearbox, which is typical Honda gearbox, very, very smooth and slick in operation. It's a very nice car to drive. It's very relaxing indeed. The auto gearbox, as I've said, the gear shift quality is very, very good indeed. There's no discernible wear that I can feel within the gearbox in terms of its gear changes. I always recommend that people do exactly the same tests that I do on autos, aside from driving the car as we are now, to feel out for kind of thumpy gear changes. Just pop it into neutral when it's nice and warm, select drive, and then go back to neutral into reverse, and just see if there's any delays or thumps in the engagement. But this one is exactly what you'd expect it to be, and given that they can take hundreds of thousand miles, relatively in their stride, it comes as absolutely no surprise. So in terms of the powertrain of the vehicle, can't fault it. Absolutely superb. Steering of the car, of a generation which I love, so it's proper hydraulic power steering. There's no vibrations coming back through the steering wheel. I can't feel any obvious wear in it. Tracks absolutely bullet straight, and as I said, there's no feeling of kind of wear within it at all, and it's nice and direct. As soon as you turn the wheel, the car goes with it, but it's complemented with a very good chassis which allows very, very good body control for this type of car. They tend to sit quite low and flat compared to some other vehicles, and quite wide in their stance, which helps with giving them sort of very, very good body control. The reason I got this section of road here on the videos is it's quite bumpy, so if there's any noises that emanate from underneath the vehicle, it'll sort of show me now. You'll hear it going over the bumps, which you're meant to do. What I'm looking out for, or listening out for rather, are any kind of distant thuds or clunks, which might suggest you might have a kind of anti-roll bar link or drop link with a bit of wear in it. But all is very quiet and serene. They ride very, very well, these cars, and this one just feels exactly as it should. Brake pedal on the car, nice solid brake pedal. There's no pulsing on the brake pedal, there's no vibrations coming back through, no strange noises when it's applied. The bite point is very good. They're very well modulated. They're not grabby at all, but they are confidence inspiring, which is very good indeed. Just checking the cruise control function, and that works exactly as it should. Also a good opportunity whilst I'm up at the legal limits and the main roads here, it's just listening out for any kind of noises inside the car at speed. You know, if you've got a damaged seal on a sunroof or windscreen or door seal, that soon manifests itself in kind of annoying wind hiss coming into a car, and this one is lovely and quiet, which is exactly what it should be, which suggests that all is in fine fettle in that regard. Looking around inside the car, you know, these are really nice places to sit and operate cars from. The driving position is very straightforward. Pedals directly in front, steering wheel directly in front. Sounds a daft thing to say, but you know, there should be. But you know, some seem to manage to have your feet at one angle and the arms at another. But hopefully those days are past us now. But it's a wonderfully built car. It feels rock solid in here. There's no buzzers or creaks or rattles in the interior of the car. Not that you'd expect them in the CRVs. They do assemble them very well indeed. And it's all in very nice condition with only tiny amounts of kind of age-related wear. I mean, I'm really being fussy because I can't really see anything obvious. There's a few little ring marks on the doors here where people sort of catch, but you know, they're light. But you know, it's, you know, it isn't a new car, but it's very, very, very clean. But the dashboards are wonderful to use. They've got you know, this nice high up big screen sat nav system, all working absolutely perfectly. And then down below that you got your dual zone climate control, so you can have different temperatures side to side on the vehicle, and it all working absolutely beautifully as well. What the video can't kind of impart, which I go on about quite a lot on these videos, is just the quality of the switchgear in these Hondas is absolutely superb. They're designed to last not just for a couple of years whilst they're under manufacturer's warranty, but for many years afterwards as well. And these take their miles wonderfully well. But all the switch gears are lovely actuation to it, and it all working exactly as it should. Check the heated seats; they're working exactly as they should as well. My backside's nice and warm now. Coming across the main dashboard binnacle here, classic Honda affair, nice, simple, easy to read, symmetrical, and as I said in one of my previous videos, I actually prefer it to the dashboard of the new CR-V, which I find a bit more, or unnecessarily sort of complicated. But all the gauges, everything's working exactly as it should. Likewise, the steering wheel just feels like new in my hand. All the switch gear around it's very nice indeed. None of the paint's rubbed off or anything like that. With heavy hands or lots of makeup sort of got into them, as can be the case. For those that don't know, and I'm sure you probably do, this is obviously a four-wheel drive vehicle, but Honda know their market very well. They're the world's best-selling manufacturer of this type of car, for very good reason. They worked out very quickly that most people will just drive around like this, so why have four-wheel drive constantly working as it is on so many cars? So what they actually do is, if it needs four-wheel drive, if you're going across a sort of muddy field, your front wheels start to spin, it automatically engages the rear wheels. It's absolutely seamless in operation, works brilliantly well. There's no switches to press, there's nothing to activate or deactivate. It does it all for you and turns itself off when it doesn't require it. The advantage is obvious in some ways, that you're not going to be chewing up your tyres if you're constantly running four-wheel drive. You're not putting a load of mechanical stress to the car that isn't required, and subsequently you're not using a load of fuel to run all that kind of stuff. And it also makes them absolutely unbelievably reliable in terms of the four-wheel drive system. We have literally sold thousands of CR-Vs and we've never had a problem with the four-wheel drive system of the vehicle. It just shows how tough they are. But anyway, the point of the video was to show the car in operation and also to pick up on any issues with the vehicle in terms of the drive. I can't find a single thing. It drives absolutely beautifully. However, if I have missed anything, then please don't hesitate. Do give us a call and I'll happily answer any questions you might have.